the sacred bond between humanity.
The sacred bond between humanity and the earth. Have you ever stopped to consider that you're not just on earth? You're quite literally made of earth? Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, every thought passing through your mind is only possible because of an ancient, sacred bond between your body and this planet. Today, we're going to explore 5 profound ways that humanity and Earth are interconnected through everyday objects around you right now. Then, we'll discover that ancient peoples knew this truth long before modern science proved it. Let's dive in. Part 1. The iron in your blood and Earth's core. Inside each red blood cell sits an iron atom that carries oxygen through your body. This iron is the same element that makes up Earth's core and 5% of its crust. Without it, your cells would suffocate within minutes. The everyday object. Cast iron skillets. This kitchen pan shares the same cosmic iron as your blood. When you cook with it, tiny amounts leach into your food and eventually into your bloodstream. People with iron deficiency are sometimes told to cook with cast iron for exactly this reason. See rust forming on metal? That reddish-brown color is iron oxidation, the same reason your blood is red. You carry Earth's rust signature in your veins. Part 2. The calcium in your bones and ancient seas. Your bones are 65% calcium compounds. That calcium comes from ancient marine organisms that lived hundreds of millions of years ago, compressed into limestone over geological time. The everyday object. Eggshells. This eggshell is calcium carbonate, the exact same compound in limestone, marble, and antacid tablets. The calcium atoms in your bones were once part of coral reefs and tiny sea creatures in prehistoric oceans. Through erosion and the water cycle, that calcium returned to soil, was absorbed by plants, eaten by animals, and made its way to your skeleton. Your bones are literally built from ancient ocean floors. When you die, that calcium returns to Earth, cycling back into new life. Your bones aren't just from Earth, they're borrowed from Earth. Part 3. The water in your cells and Earth's oceans. You're about 60% water, roughly 42 liters if you weigh 70 kilograms. But these aren't your water molecules. They're Earth's water, temporarily organized into the pattern we call you. The everyday object. A glass of water. The water in this glass has cycled through clouds, rivers, oceans, and countless living beings for billions of years. Some of these molecules passed through dinosaurs, ancient forests, and the first humans. Your body mirrors Earth's water cycle. Your heart is like the sun providing energy. Your blood vessels are rivers. Your kidneys are watersheds filtering and purifying. Your capillaries are rainfall delivering nutrients. You don't just contain water. You are a miniature water cycle, constantly exchanging molecules with Earth's larger systems. Part 4. The carbon in your DNA and ancient forests. The backbone of your DNA is a chain of carbon atoms. Every cell in your body is carbon-based, and that carbon has a history stretching billions of years. The everyday object, a wooden pencil. Trees pull carbon dioxide from the air through photosynthesis, transforming it into solid wood. When you eat plants or animals that ate plants, you're consuming that captured carbon and rebuilding it into your own tissues. The carbon in your DNA was once floating as CO2 in the atmosphere. Before that, locked in ancient rocks. Before that, part of prehistoric organisms. You're a mixture of ancient and new carbon, all woven together. When you hold this wooden pencil, you're holding captured sunlight and air transformed into solid form. That's exactly what you are too. Part 5. The minerals in your nerves and primordial oceans. Every thought you have depends on minerals flowing through your nervous system. Your brain uses electrical impulses created by sodium, potassium, calcium, and chloride ions moving across nerve cells. The everyday object, table salt. When a neuron fires, sodium ions rush in while potassium rushes out, creating the electrical signal. Without these minerals in precise concentrations, your nervous system wouldn't work. The ratio of minerals in your blood is remarkably similar to seawater. Life originated in Earth's oceans, and when our ancestors crawled onto land, they brought ocean chemistry with them, enclosed in their cells. Your consciousness itself depends on Earth's elemental gifts. Every time you think or feel, you're using the same minerals that flow through vast oceans. Part 6. Ancient wisdom meets modern science. Modern science has confirmed what ancient peoples knew intuitively for thousands of years. Let's explore how different cultures understood this sacred bond. Indigenous American wisdom. The Lakota Sioux have a phrase, Mitakuye Oyasin, which means all my relations or we are all related. This isn't just a nice sentiment, it's a precise description of reality. Chief Seattle said, "Humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves." Indigenous peoples of the Americas never saw themselves as separate from nature. The Hopi speak of emerging from Mother Earth. The Iroquois make decisions considering 7 generations into the future, understanding that what we take from Earth must be returned. When they say Mother Earth, they mean it literally. They understood that we are fed by Earth, built from Earth, and return to Earth. The minerals, water, and elements cycle through all beings. Ancient Hindu philosophy. In Hindu tradition, Prithvi is the earth goddess, but she's more than a deity. She represents the fundamental truth that Earth is the source of all physical existence. The Upanishads, written thousands of years ago, state, "From Earth are born all creatures. By Earth they live, and into Earth they return." Hindu philosophy describes 5 great elements, Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, and space. These aren't just metaphors. Ancient sages understood that everything, including the human body, is composed of these elements in different proportions. The Ayurvedic medical system, over 3,000 years old, is built on this understanding. It recognizes that imbalances in the body reflect imbalances in how we relate to Earth's elements. To heal, we must return to harmony with nature. Buddhist understanding. Buddhism teaches pratyasamutpada, dependent origination or interdependent co-arising. Nothing exists independently. Everything arises in relationship to everything else. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk, illustrated this beautifully. When you look at a piece of paper, you can see the tree it came from, the rain that fed the tree, the sun that warmed the earth, the logger who cut the tree, the person who made the paper. The paper contains the entire universe. The same is true of your body. You contain the entire universe, every element, every cycle, every force that has shaped Earth's history. Ancient Chinese wisdom. Traditional Chinese philosophy speaks of humans as the meeting point between heaven and earth, Tiandi Ren. We are the bridge, made of earth but reaching toward sky. The Tao Te Ching states, man follows earth, earth follows heaven, heaven follows the Tao, and the Tao follows what is natural. Chinese medicine is built on wuxing, the 5 elements or phases, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. These aren't just symbolic. They describe actual transformations that occur in nature and within our bodies. Metal in Chinese philosophy relates to minerals and is associated with the lungs and large intestine, the organs of exchange between inner and outer worlds. Ancient Chinese physicians understood that the minerals we take from Earth literally build our tissues and enable our vital functions. Ancient Greek philosophy. The pre-Socratic philosopher Empedocles taught that everything, including humans, is made from 4 root elements: earth, water, air, and fire. He believed we are literally constructed from the same substances as the rest of the cosmos. Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, taught that health comes from balancing the 4 humors, which correspond to the 4 elements. He understood that we must live in harmony with natural cycles. The Greeks personified Earth as Gaia, the primordial mother from whom all life springs. Modern science has echoed this with the Gaia hypothesis, which proposes Earth functions as a single living system. African traditional wisdom. Across African cultures, the concept of Ubuntu expresses profound interconnection. I am because we are. This extends beyond humanity to all of nature. Many African traditions teach that ancestors return to the earth and continue to nourish the living. The Zulu phrase, Simakade, we are eternal, reflects understanding that the elements that compose us are immortal, cycling endlessly through Earth's systems. Sacred groves and trees are protected because they're understood as living ancestors, composed of the same elements as human bodies, breathing the same air, drinking the same water. Aboriginal Australian Dreamtime. Aboriginal Australians have perhaps the longest continuous culture on Earth, over 65,000 years. Their Dreamtime stories describe how ancestral beings created the land and all living things from their own bodies. This isn't mythology. It's sophisticated understanding of how life emerges from Earth's elements. When they sing song lines, they're not just remembering paths across the land. They're acknowledging that the land and their bodies share the same essence. The Aboriginal concept of country doesn't just mean land. It's family. It's understood that what happens to the land happens to the people because they're literally made of the same substance. The universal truth. Notice the pattern? From the Americas to Asia, from Africa to Australia, from Europe to the Pacific Islands, every ancient culture understood this fundamental truth. We are not separate from Earth. We are Earth. They didn't need electron microscopes to see atoms or spectrometers to measure elements. They observed, they felt, they knew through direct relationship with the natural world. Modern science, with all its sophisticated tools, has simply confirmed what indigenous wisdom always knew. The iron in our blood comes from stars and stone, the calcium in our bones from ancient seas, the water in our cells from primordial oceans, the carbon in our DNA from ancient forests, the minerals in our nerves from the salt of the earth. The ancients called it sacred. Science calls it biochemistry. Both are describing the same miraculous truth. In conclusion, we've seen 5 material connections. Iron linking blood to Earth's core. Calcium connecting bones to ancient seas, water revealing us as miniature planetary cycles, carbon weaving our DNA from atmospheric air, minerals enabling consciousness through ocean chemistry, and we've heard how ancient wisdom from every corner of the globe recognized these truths. The distinction between you and Earth is an illusion. You don't just live on Earth, you are Earth, temporarily arranged into human form, experiencing itself, thinking about itself, wondering about itself. That cast iron pan, that eggshell, that glass of water, that wooden pencil, that grain of salt, these aren't metaphors. They're your relatives. They're your origins. They're you. Modern society has largely forgotten this truth, and we see the consequences. Environmental destruction, disconnection, suffering. But the wisdom remains available to us. We can remember. The ancient peoples were right. The scientists are right. And somewhere between traditional wisdom and modern understanding lies the key to our survival and flourishing. Recognizing that we are not separate from nature. We are nature. You are made of stars and stone, ancient seas and living forests, all woven together in the miracle we call life. You are Earth becoming conscious of itself, and that is truly sacred. So the next time you touch soil, drink water, or simply take a breath, remember, you're not interacting with something separate from yourself. You're experiencing a homecoming. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you see yourself and the world, share it with someone who needs to remember their connection to this beautiful planet we call home, and remember to subscribe to Wisdom Activation, where you can view other topics from our ever-growing video library.